my name is Stefan and I'm going to start a food blog. With this food blog, I'll be trying to make a few recipes that I found more satisfying than others, and I'll share them with you. Some of the recipes are made from professionals and inspired from them, with a few slight modifications that I would enjoy making them in my way. With this video blog, I'll try to make approximately 1 to 4 recipes per month, depending on how long or advanced or complicated the recipes are, and a few snack recipes that I enjoy making from scratch. So the whole idea with this blog is to share a few recipes that are simple enough for a student, such as myself, to make and fairly cheap. However, we'll also try to use as much as the original ingredients as possible. This means that we won't be buying a lot of ready-made sauces or anything like that. We'll try to make from scratch. Not very complicated, they're usually very simple. Today, we'll be making a pork belly inspired by Gordon Ramsay. He did use one of the ingredients that I had never used before when making meat dishes: fennel seeds. Fennel seeds was an ingredient that I did not find very attracting or wouldn't use in a lot of recipes. However, Gordon Ramsay and his recipes had never let us down before with me and my sister, so I decided to give it a go. It was fairly simple, straightforward, and it turned out to be great. So let's get to it. So with this recipe, we're going to need a nice pork belly, around 1.5 kilos. As the spices we're going to be using the fennel seeds, approximately 2 teaspoons, some rosemary, approximately 1 teaspoon, a bit less, and a few corns of red pepper, rose pepper. We're also going to use sea salt to rubbing. We're not going to use all of this, just to cover the pork belly. I'll show you in a moment. We're also going to be using smoked paprika and crushed Thai chili or bird's eye chili. Both of them approximately 1 teaspoon. We're also going to use garlic with the peel on and some white wine. If you don't enjoy using white wine, you can also choose to use white wine vinegar. In this case, however, put max 2 tablespoons of the white wine vinegar. So take your pork belly and leave it in room temperature approximately 1 hour before preparing it. After you've done this, you can start preparing the food. Because the pork belly is usually made with a nice thick fat layer and also the skin, we want to keep that, because this gives it a nice texture when it's ready. We're going to start with using a nice sharp knife and cutting a few wedges diagonally across the pork belly skin. This helps the ingredients and the spices to seep in when the pork belly's fat is melting as well. Cut the slices approximately 2 centimeters apart, or just below 1 inch. You can flip the pork belly around 90 degrees and cut diagonally. Not only will this also help you when you're gonna serve the dish, it also gives it a nice look when it comes out of the oven. When you're done with this step, just make sure that all of the diamonds are through, and if you find any diamonds that are not very through, just take your knife and cut a slice on the side so that you can get the nice shapes around. Open the diamonds up a bit just to help you rub in the spices. Take your sea salt, the coarse sea salt, and take around 2 pinches and just make sure that you get it into all of the edges, and then just push it in and rub it in as long as you go. This also gives it a nice rustic look. Next, you can also move this into the pot that you're going to prepare it in the oven. This way, all of the next spices won't be spilled over. As the sea salt wasn't very important that you get a lot of it, just that you get into the wedges. You can start with the fennel seeds if you want. The order isn't very important in this case, as you will notice later on, they will all be still moving around in the whole pot. With all the spices, just press in that you get it into the nice wedges and around the pork belly. The fennel seeds gives it a nice anise flavor that you would not expect that goes well with pork belly. Take the rosemary and the red peppers, the red peppercorns, and nicely spread them around and push them in. It doesn't matter if they break or go around the pork belly, as these will also go into the pork belly when it's sitting in the wine. Last but not least, take your chili and red paprika powder, the smoked one, and pour it over. This one, however, when you've rubbed it in, I recommend to wash your hands, because the chili, if it gets into your eyes, it won't be a very pleasant experience. Just make sure that you cover all of the diamonds and get it into them, as this will give it a nice color and taste when your final product is made. The oven, put it at 175 Celsius and with both heats from bottom and top. If your oven has a top heat or a grill that is too hot for the pork belly to ripen, cover it with foil before putting it in the oven. With the garlic, we can just take the bulbs with peel and skin on, separate them, and I usually go pretty generous with the amount of garlic because I don't usually consume them with the dish. It's a nice garnish and a nice look in the end, but approximately half a bulb or a bit more is nice. So approximately 10 garlic cloves in the end. Pour approximately 2 deciliters or less, if you don't want a strong wine taste, around the pork belly. Don't pour it on top, as this will pour out and flush out all of the ingredients that we already rubbed in. The same wine that you're using for your dish, you can also use to serve with the meal when it's done. So once this is ready, you can just pop it into the oven for around 4 hours. Once you've taken the pork belly out from the oven, your house will smell wonderful. It will be full of aromas of fennel seeds, garlic, and pork belly. The pork belly's fat has been simmering throughout the whole processing time. So now that we have a juicy pork belly and it's tender inside with a crispy outside with full of flavor, pork belly will go well with any type of potato dish. Potato dishes like mashed potatoes, potato gratin, roasted potato will go very well with this kind of dish. Just slice it nicely with a sharp knife and you have a wonderful meal ahead. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below, or any suggestions for further videos, please do not hesitate to comment. This is going to be a great journey with us, guys. So, this is going to be wonderful. See you next time.